Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aidi Noval Satwika Nugroho, and today I would like to I would like to talk for my ICT online project, especially for the network and communication topic. Okay, so without further ado, let's start it. Okay, so from the fax machine. So actually, fax is short for facsimile, which means a copy, and then a fax machine is works. It actually can send a copy of a paper document over the telephone network. It use the fax machine converts the light or the dark areas of the printed document into noises, which will going to be transferred through the other fax machine, which will print it again or the receiver. So actually, fax machine have been used for many years as quick way of sharing documents, of course, and but some people right now, or especially in this era, almost everybody have a computer, email, and phone, I think. So it's much easier to send documents through those type of thing. And then so actually there is two type of fax machine, which is the traditional one and then the online or the electronic faxing. So the difference is just only like the traditional one is you scan and you send it using a fax machine, and then the receiver also will use the fax machine to receive and to print it. But the online or the electronic one or the new days, they scan with a fax machine, and then they receive it with an email or a PC or that had been connected by the network. And when you do that, it's actually you are using a fax modem that is very similar to a regular fax machine. Yeah, so just sending a fax via an internet fax service really isn't that all different. Okay, so now moving on to the fax machine advantage and disadvantage. So the advantage is when you use this fax machine, it will going to be have a quite fast transmission, because when you have done scanning it and then just input the phone number or the fax number where you want to receive it, or the person who want to receive it, and then it's directly send it through. And then so the next one is it have high accuracy of information, because you are the one which decide is it accurate or no. So the accuracy is up to you, so you can setting it, and then yeah, of course it have a high accuracy of information. So the next one is it's quite easy and simple to use, also to maintain. Why? Because it doesn't require much time to maintain it. It's just like a printer, but I think yeah, it's just easy to maintain, not really that difficult. Just only clean it for 1 month, I think. You can change or you can check in the inside, is there electronic parts okay or not, and then yeah, it's quite simple to use, because you just only need to enter the phone number or the fax number that you want to receive, and then after you scan it, you can directly send it. Okay, but the disadvantage is it has low security or privacy data, because anybody that have access or near that fax machine can directly send to another fax machine, as long as you know, as long as the person knows the number, and it makes the security not really that good, because everybody can have access on it. So the next one is it is easy to get an error information, whether it is because of the network problems or the frequency problem, because it still use the telephone number, like for the next disadvantage. So it still use the same number as the telephone, so it will make some people confused, maybe which one is the fax machine and which one is the for the phone number only. And then yeah, it makes that is one of the disadvantage. And then so now moving on to the next one is about an email. So email stands for electronic mail, and then email is a system that allow you to send or receive mail or message by a computer or by any device right now, because we already have phone and PC or computer or laptop. We can access our email, our provider email, and then we can get it as direct as possible. And then so there is two types of email, which is carbon copy, or when you see on the web page of the email provider, you can see it's short for CC, and then it send an email to someone, but also allowed other people to view it as well. So the one more is a blind carbon copy, or BCC, which is quite similar to the carbon copy, but any email address entered are hidden from a view. So that is the different one. Okay, so when you want to use an email, of course you need to have the email address and the provider also. So an email address is made up of two parts, I think. There is username and the provider one, and in the middle there must be have a symbol of @ So like we can see over here, the example is username @provider. So like like the example for my email is idin.naufal is the username, and then my provider is gmail.com. So when you comment it, it's become idin.naufal@gmail.com. And then so when you use this one, it's actually quite similar to the faxing, like the faxing machine before, but it have much more advantage, because you can send larger attachment, and then also you can send the same document to quite a large number of person that want to receive it at the same time. Not like a fax machine, you have to wait after it the other fax machine receive it, and then you can send it to the other one. So sending multimedia or attachment such as video, sound, and image. So it allows you to send multimedia attachments more than just only a document that you have been scanned, then send it, and then it receive email from any device with an internet connection. So as long as you have an internet connection, you can receive and send any emails. So moving on to the disadvantage and advantage. So over here I put it not disadvantage or advantage, because actually the most one that I want to show is about the comparison about the fax and the email. As we can see, and the fax one is less confidential, because people in the office and pick up fax document, because everybody can take it, and then also the fax signature on fax are accepted legally, and then it's quite have a poor quality of printed document, and then busy line can prevent sending and receiving faxes. And how about the email? The email actually have more secure, because you need a username and also a password to log in into your account, and then it no need any printing document that can make you save more cost. And then the document can be sent and received from any device with an internet connection. Like before, as long as you have an internet connection, you can receive or send through the email, and then it is easier to send to multiple recipients, not like the fax one. Okay, so over here you can see in the Gmail the example for the email provider, and then you can also see how the email actually work. It's quite simple. From the internet into the sending server, and then it goes to the receiving server, and then just like that for everything. Okay, so moving on to the next one is about video conferencing. So it is a system that allows you to have a conversation and meetings with other people in different location or any parts of the world, so without leaving their place, of course. And it can cause you to have more saving costs, because with this you don't have to go out to meet directly face to face with other people. You just have to turn on your laptop and then set up your hardware, and then you can good to go to do some video conferencing. So there is a requirement for a good video conference. The hardware is you have to have a webcam, because it is video, right? It doesn't mean video conference if that doesn't have image or a video of you. So the use of webcam is for capturing image to and then transmit it into the other side of the conference so everybody can see your face or your presentation. And then you need to have not large, but you need to have a monitor, of course, because you need to view other person. And then if large is, I think it's better. So you of course have you need to have a microphone to communicate each other, and then you need to have a speaker or a earphone for the sound output, and also you have need to have the internet, so for connecting the conference through web or app. Okay, here is the advantage and the disadvantage of using a video conference. So the advantage is very reliable communication, because since the COVID-19 we always use this for our class. Not every class, but most of the class we use these types of communication. We use the video conferencing, and over here there is example of video conferencing provider. It is Zoom that we usually use, and then over here we have the how the actually it works. So just as you can see over here, just about transmitting data. Someone records something and then it's transmit, and then the other device receive it, and then yeah, is that all. And then the disadvantage is it's quite and then sorry, the advantage is it is very efficient in meeting or presenting, because some provider also allows you to screen sharing your screen, so everybody can see your screen or what you want to presentate. And then it's safeable, because some provider also give an option to whether you want to record it or to live it on YouTube or something else. And then but the disadvantage is quite expensive to set up, because not everything is free, but there's some provider that is quite free, and it's really helpful. But the good one I think is quite expensive. Also, the hardware was not really that cheap, because you need a webcam, monitor, microphone, speakers, and the stable internet connection. And then there must be a time zone difference. Like example, we have a meeting on here in Malaysia, and then the other person was at the Europe. It have really kind of difference time, really large number of difference, and it makes not really comfortable, because maybe over there is night but over here is still noon. It's make a really difference. And then sometimes it have a connection problem, whether it's lag or delay, and it makes the video conferencing disturb. Okay, so moving on to the audio conferencing, or we call it as a VoIP. So internet telephony or VoIP is becoming very popular both for personal use and within the workplace. So it's actually send a voice through the internet as a digital data, just like any other internet data. In other words, the VoIP system uses the internet connection to send and receive phone calls. And the internet telephony means a telephone system that uses the internet. Yeah, of course. And then so the VoIP means voice over IP, just like the previous topic we have learned about the internet protocol. It is the system that the internet uses to transfer all data with the security. So the VoIP system can work in quite several ways. VoIP software can be installed on a computer, then calls are made using a special VoIP telephones, and that can be plugged directly into the network. But and then the most well-known public VoIP I think is Skype. I still use Skype, and then there's more like Google Talk, VBuzzer, and many other else. So next is the advantage and the disadvantage. As you can see, the advantage is, of course, there's no need telephone line is required, but maybe you just only need an ID for the people that you want to contact or send a voice or receiving a voice. So it is very low cost, because some of the provider I think give you free, and it's forever free, and then it's very helpful. And then the advantage is sometimes can even include a video which can be transforming into the video conferencing as well. And then also the disadvantage is, of course, it requires special hardware or software. The hardware, I think the most thing you need for VoIP this one is using a microphone so you can talk, and also a speaker to hear as an output. So it requires an internet connection for the stable one, so it won't be any trouble. And then the call quality, of course, depends on the internet connection as well. So over here we can see in the simple diagram about someone calling, and then some people also receiving it at the another place and another device. And then over here also we have the diagram. It's not really this the different, but also I insert quite a popular one. It's called a voice snap for the VoIP provider. It's called voice snap. It's quite a good one. I ever use it, but now I didn't use it because sometimes now I use it Skype because it's more comfortable, I think. So now moving on to the web conferencing. So web conferencing is actually an online service on which you can hold live meetings or conferencing or presentation. It also sometimes it called as a webinar. I don't know why. I think it's web seminar, I think. And as with a video conference, connecting to a web conference requires a webcam, a microphone, a monitor, and a sound system, and of course a web browser. Oh yeah, also an internet, of course. So actually, it doesn't really differ that much from the video conferencing, but the difference is when you use video conferencing, sometimes you need to download or install the app on your devices, whether it is on your PC, laptop, or on the handphone. But when you use web conferencing, you can just access the web directly, and then you can join a meeting, presentation, or the webinar also. So it's actually just as simple as provides a web meeting, a webcast, and webinar solution. But sometimes it also can be used to host online event, and a web conferencing platform can have built-in advanced features like including the screen sharing, instant messaging, desktop sharing, or the screen, also the remote control, file sharing, and interactive whiteboard. So nowadays they have so many features that I couldn't mention it all of it. So now let's move on to the advantage and the disadvantage. So the advantage is really low cost because you just only need to access the web and directly input the meeting ID, and then you're good to go. So it's really time efficient because of the simple step to use it, and then it's really flexible and diversity. Over here, flexible is you can decide it when you want to start the meeting and when you want to join it. It's really simple because yeah, just access it, input the ID, and then you're good to go. And then the disadvantage is it have low security, and sometimes it will be able to be hacked because everybody can just input the meeting ID, and if you know the password you can access it. So also the disadvantage, maybe they have a connection problem like a lag and delay, also on the time zone difference. So over here we also have the example. We have Skype and Google Meet, Zoom, and more. And then over here we have the diagram and about the cloud voice platform. It means you can access it from any device and it's really easy to use. And then on the right one we have the example of the webinar or the web conferencing on this Google Meet. And then yeah, I think that's all from me. The end, and thank you very much. Hope you enjoy and hope you understand all of it. Thank you, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.